Hey there guys, in this video I wanted to talk about the dangers of caffeine addiction. Now, I can speak from experience of being addicted to coffee on and off, really addicted to coffee, to the point where I would drink coffee 6 days out of the week. And we're talking 3 to 4 shots of espresso, and on top of that, you got a couple of cups of cold brew, usually, cold brew coffee. I love espresso and cold brew coffee, iced coffee. The taste is just fantastic for me. I really enjoy it. Now, the dangers of coffee addiction basically are that you become dependent on the stimulant in order to function normally, really, is what happens. Now, caffeine addiction can come from other things besides coffee. Like with one of my clients, for example, he is currently trying to get himself off of drinking green tea every day. He told me he would drink 4 to 6 cups of green tea every day. And so that's currently a thing that we're trying to get him off of. And it's huge because you're dependent on a stimulant basically to function normally. And without it, you're screwed. I mean, without it, I don't know if you've ever, of course, I don't know if anybody who's watching has ever tried to go off of caffeine, completely cold turkey. But when that happens, basically, you have your mood go down, you get headaches, your energy is crap, and you sleep a lot more, you nap a lot more, you don't have the drive to do things that you normally like to do, and you need to push through that in order to get through the initial phase of caffeine withdrawal in order to get off of coffee. And so what does that tell you? If you need to go through that process when you decide, you know what, I don't want any more coffee or tea or anything that has caffeine. I don't want any more of that. And you go through that process, what does that tell you? You are basically not resting enough. You have been bankrupt on energy for a long time, and you have been trying to compensate with caffeine to try to push yourself to keep going, even though your body's telling you, hey, we need to take a step back and we need to rest and recover and recuperate for a bit before we get back into however it is that you go about your day. And that's the danger of caffeine addiction. Well, that's one of the main dangers, I would say. There are other dangers of caffeine as well, like increased anxiety, panic attacks, obviously increasing heart rate. Having that elevated too often can be dangerous. And I've also heard, I haven't done enough research on the studies to say if I actually buy into these other things, but coffee, like drinking too much coffee, for example, or taking in too much caffeine can age you. Caffeine from coffee can also be dangerous. Well, not dangerous, but it can hurt your teeth in terms of changing the color of your teeth. That's another thing. And there are other things, but I think those are the main things that are worth noting right now when it comes to what can happen if you drink too much coffee or too much caffeine. And coffee being one of the main ways, because I'd imagine that most people drink coffee over tea. So, when you're addicted to coffee and caffeine, you are basically in the position where you have been bankrupt on energy for a long time, and you've been trying to compensate by taking this stimulant to make you feel like you're more energized, but really you're just putting yourself deeper and deeper into the hole. And if you feel as if you're in this position, then I'd recommend you get off and you either limit your caffeine intake tremendously, or you just go completely cold turkey. Now, I'm not suggesting if you actually really enjoy drinking coffee and green tea or black tea or anything else with caffeine. I'm not saying that you need to go completely off of it, but what I am saying is that you should be completely honest and aware about how you're going about your caffeine intake. And if you're really using it as a crutch, or if you just drink it, have it occasionally just as something to enjoy. If you're doing it as something to enjoy, just to enjoy every once in a while, and it's not really a crutch, you'll know. But if you are using it as a crutch, you would also know. And so if you fit in the category of someone who is just using it as a form of enjoyment every once in a while, and it's not really hindering your quality of life, then go ahead, as long as you don't become an addict. But if you're on the other extreme, then I'd recommend you get off, because man, if you stay too long on caffeine, being addicted to caffeine or being addicted to coffee like I have been on and off when I was younger, you're going to be in a pretty tough spot. So I'd recommend you do something about that. Anyways, I hope you got some value out of this video. If you liked the video, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and I will see you all in the next video.